think the idea of the shortcut in the view to put the focus on one specific, it's a good idea, but should be used carefully because you can make stuff very complicated, and having also the shortcuts like in browser, like that we have both for specific usage for scanning barcode, and we get a solution. And yeah, so OpenERP try to be full feature, one module with everything in it possible, and option and so on, and they use default value for configuration. With Tryton we try to be case, so keeping simple and stupid. We use, instead of default value, configuration, which is singleton records to store values, default value, instead of right-click on each form. It's better to control the configuration, we think. And we try to make one module for one concept. So this makes things more modular, and you get just small screen, small form and stuff like that, instead of thousands of options in all the way, and nobody understood everything. And we try to work on the level of the lines. So it's the sale lines that generate the invoice line, and not the sale that generate the invoice. Or the sale line generate the move, the stock move line, and not on the top, on the document level. So we try to work on the line level. It's a generic concept we try to put everywhere. It's allow more possibilities and stuff like that. But by default, the modules look like they work by document, but behind the scene, it's by line. And like that, you can add modules that remove the document way of working and just show you the lines, with like the purchase standalone line, invoice line, where it generates just invoice line and not the invoice, and you can fill the invoice. I plan to work to talk a little bit about the sales. So the sales is not based on procurement. Procurement.
Talk about OpenERP, or?
Here is Tryton, but it's the difference with OpenERP. But in OpenERP you get procurements, but in Tryton we don't have this concept. For the stock level we use draft move, and we compute based on this move instead of procurement. We find this is simpler and better, more accurate than going through the procurement process, where it's always a little bit strange to know what happens in this part of the code. I don't know if someone already tried. What is it? Like I say, it's the sale order that creates the invoice, not the picking. So we try to have one place where the next document is created. Like that you can easily overwrite and customize it, and not have to overwrite 10 methods that are spread all around the software. Because in OpenERP right now, if you make invoice based on shipment or picking, it's the guys who press the send buttons on the picking that is generating the invoice from the picking. So if you have a specific customization on the invoice methods, you need to overwrite the picking and the sales. But sometimes you forget one of the both, or you cannot exactly do the same step, so it's more difficult. The shipment is made with 2 steps instead of just one. We put from the storage location to the output of the warehouse. Like that, you can prepare. It's the way of to prepare the shipment, and after that, it goes from the output zone of the warehouse to the customer. So you get 2 steps for the shipments instead of just from stock to customer. It reflects more the way of working in warehouse, I guess. Then it's not often that you pick up from the stock and give directly to the customer. Generally, you put it on the trunk or something like that. We manage shipments and invoice exception. So if you don't ship everything from the sale, and you can sell 1 shipment, on the sale order you have the exception, and you can recreate the shipment if you want, or say, okay, I skip, I know this is something wrong, and I will never ship the product, and then the shipment will not try to recreate it. It's management of exception. And we show by default only 1 year of sales in the list view, because sales grow with time, and so it's only the last sales that are interesting for the user.
Is that in the code or is that in the
It's in the action that open the list. It can be customized, increase if 1 year is not enough, or if it's too much. So it's possible to modify it, but it's defined. It's not based on the user or stuff like that. It's for everybody, and it's in the action of the menu.
Now it's
yeah.
a new search interface, you always see it in English.
I know. Yeah, we could make it translatable, but so translator should translate it for every model. We can activate it if it's okay for translators.
No, it's just the translation of the action. No.
No,
yeah.
It's the field create date that is not translated by default. Because
yes.
Okay. This is that, or we should create another field for sales, purchase, invoice, which reflect the create date, but only I don't know.
I think translating is not an option.
Yeah. Okay. So we will activate it. It's possible to activate.
But with that, what do you have translatable?
Then in the search,
You can override the year.
Mais ouvre l'essai, c'était clair.
Oh, okay.
so
Okay, so it's nothing to do with the year.
no.
Okay, just the search.
It's
Okay.
structure.
Yeah.
There are some cases
Here, this
it is good to have
this is-
create a view.
Okay.
this value is not translated. Shipment.
Because this specific field is not shown on the form, so it's not translated by default.
No,
And
it's
so-
not the issue. It's because it's.
finding bugs of the things that we discussed here.
I don't know.
Bugs is the wrong word, but
Taking notes.
some issue the
An issue, but I think there is already one. No,
About that.
about that, I think I don't know if it's Matthias or I don't know who fill it, but someone fill it. And I think I say, okay, we should use another field and create that, but we can. It depends. It's technical field, so should them be translated or not?
Yeah, it's no big deal. It's just one time.
Sarah, can you show again still? Is that the default entry in the search?
Yes.
If you open
Yeah.
the menu, it already put the create date in there. So the user can see, I only see the...
Yeah, the recent, because you can have a lot of sales.
Yeah.
So this is this kind of list that are only growing with time. When the company is running, I hope for the company, but so it could become very huge. So it's good to limit it.
The search limit is not enough.
It could be, but the user can increase it. It's a
Of course, I know.
so he could put something very
Big.
Large.
big. So perhaps he want to increase because he work on something that is not growing, but he want to have everything. It's a translation, so he will increase it. But sales are a little bit slow already to read because of function fields of amounts here. So having too much is also slow. It's some kind of heavy record to load, so better to be careful with it. Don't know.
Yeah, no, I understand. No, I don't think so. If this, then
No, if you want to see everything, you need to remove it and make a new search.
if we talk about the search, is this the moment to discuss the new search? Or you can show some more features of the new search before we go into changing.
Yeah.
Or
Yes.
is it somewhere else in the
Okay. So now we have just one search field where you can make queries, but perhaps I will search on something with some more records. Here, so I can search for a field. So I start to type the letters of the field. So for code, I can search for the code 10. So I get the code 10. But I can also search on multiple fields. So I can say I want name like that, or I don't remember. Yes.
You just type Martin now. Martin without name. Just type Martin without name.
It will search for the rect name. So here the name is the rect name. So I can type Lander and I get Lander.
But only for the rect name.
Yes.
Could you include more fields for this feature?
You need to override the search rect name.
So it's possible.
Yes. You can also combine your search. Search for name D and not too much. Also for the code 5. Is that I have just the one. Is by default it's AND, but I can also put OR and say starting with D and also code equals 10. I can use parentheses to make more complex stuff, and list. Yeah. I can search if the widget is a selection. I can here. Oh. No. OVT code.
Non, le langage, c'est il faut aller sur. T'es sur partie. Ah ouais.
Ouais. Moi j'ai VT country. Let's see somewhere else. Here, if I have a selection field, it will propose me all the options.
Fully active? Yes, no?
Active.